Hey everyone, I hope that you are all staying well and you're healthy and you're finding ways to entertain yourself. This is such a weird, unprecedented time, but please know that you are so missed during this time. It's really weird to be in the school without students. But because this is such a weird and unprecedented time, I wanted to make a video that hopefully explains what my expectations will be moving forward as we try to navigate online learning. But I'm also going to share some changes that the school is making as well. And then I'm going to try to share some tips with you about how you can be successful with online learning as we all try to learn how to do it together. So the first thing that I want to share with you is just some things that I need from you. So first, I just need your patience. This is new for me too. I've never taught anything online, but I'm really trying to make the transition as easy as possible. But please know that I'm going to try things that work well, and I'm going to try other things that don't work well. So please be patient with me as I try to figure it out as well. Also, I need you to be flexible. I'm going to be trying new apps, new tools, new teaching strategies, all because I haven't done this before. So there are things that we do in the classroom that just won't translate as well online, and so I'm trying to do research to find new ways to do it. So as I try new apps and new tools, please be flexible and willing to try them with me. Some of the things that we try might be a huge success, others might be a miserable flop. So again, be flexible and patient. And also, I need you to communicate with me. I am not going to be able to read your mind, so I'm not going to know what you need from me unless you tell me. And please know that I'm trying to make this transition as easy for you as possible. And so please feel free to email me whenever you need something from me. Maybe something is confusing, or maybe I'm going about something in a way that's too difficult and there's an easier way to do that. I really want that feedback from you, so please feel free to share it. The next thing I want to talk about is some changes that are either going to be made to English 9 or as an entire school. Please keep in mind, though, that these are subject to change without a notice. Okay, so without warning, these can change, and some of them are looking at being changed within the next few weeks. So again, I'm just listing these things as kind of a heads up, but they're not set in stone yet. The first one is the gradebook. We are potentially looking at changing the way we do our grading system here just to meet the needs of the situation. So our school board is going to be meeting early in April to talk about potentially moving to a pass-fail system or a pass-no credit system. Again, don't quote me on this because we haven't set anything in stone yet. So we are looking at it, but we're not entirely sure if that's exactly what we're going to do yet. So be looking at your emails for updates on that change. Also, we're still going to be doing reading counts. However, the biggest change that I'm going to make is instead of having 100,000 words due for each quarter, I'm only going to have 100,000 words due by the end of the semester because we didn't really get a true end of quarter 3. So just know that you still have to be reading your book. You just have until the end of the semester now to meet your words requirement. Next, we'll still be using No Red Ink. We'll still use it for practice assignments, but I might also use it for testing. So just be aware that you might be taking your tests on No Red Ink now too. Again, I'm going to play around with the system to see if there's anything else we can do for grammar tests, but that might be our best option. Next, I'm going to be using Schoology for my learning management system or my LMS instead of Google Classroom. Now, it might feel like a really weird time to move to Schoology, but there's actually 2 reasons why I've made this change. First, we were looking at going to Schoology next year anyway, and so I figured that I would use this as an opportunity to start working on work that I would have to do in the fall. Now, the second reason why I'm moving to Schoology is because I feel like it is a really great way to try to stay organized during this time. And as online learning is new for all of us, staying organized is the best thing that we can do for ourselves. So I'm going to take a pause from this video and I'm going to open up Schoology just so you can see what that looks like. So this is our Schoology page. Obviously when you log in, you're going to have a different screen than I have. This is what my teacher view looks like. And so I'm just going to pull up one of my courses just to give you an example of what Schoology looks like. So I'm going to open up period 1. And you'll notice right away that Schoology looks pretty similar to a lot of social media platforms. And so you have an opportunity to add some profile pictures and some bios as well. But one thing that I really like about it is it allows me to build folders, and those folders are going to help me stay as organized as possible. I think for the time being, what's going to be best for us is if I put together folders based on the weeks. That way, when you log in to do your online learning, you can say, oh, this is March 3rd. I know that, or I'm sorry, March 30th. So I know that I have to open up this folder. And that way you can see all of your assignments that are going to be due for that week. So there's a drop-down feature where you can just quickly look into the folder, or you can actually open up the document and look at your assignments that way. And so I just opened up that folder to just see what assignments are due for the week. Right now I only have 2 because I'm still working on building my Schoology course, but just know that this is what we'll be using instead. The school is going to send you more information about how you can log into your courses too. I'm going to go back to the slideshow here. The next policy that's going to be changing is your attendance. So because we're not going to be in class as frequently or as soon as we'd hope, we're going to do check-ins looking at your schoolwork. So when you post your assignments, that will be counting as you checking in to do your work. So the new school policy is that if you miss a due date, you're considered absent. So during this time, really try to meet the due dates so that you don't get marked absent. I also want you to know that just in case you have any questions, all teachers are required to have office hours, and so you can contact me Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then there's also 2 nights a week that I'll be available to you as well, and that will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Now, this does not mean that you can't email me anytime you want. You certainly can email me. It's just that during office hours, you'll more likely get an immediate response, whereas if you email me outside of office hours, you might get a delay in response. So please know you can still email me whenever you need to. These are just times where I'll be extra available to you. On the document that I've listed as a note below there, I also have included my school phone number, and so if you would like to call me instead of email me, that's an option for you too. And then as a note on the bottom of this slide, it says, please also view the upcoming changes and announcement document, which I've embedded into the lesson plan document that I'm going to share out with parents and students. And this document just gives you more specifics, and it will talk more in detail than what I've done in this video. Again, I'm going to pause from the video just to share with you my lesson plan document, just so you can see what that looks like. So this is what I've spent a bulk of my week working on. I thought that maybe it would be helpful to you to have everything that we're going to do all in one week, all right in one document. And I've also embedded links and different resources in there for you. And I'm hoping that this is more helpful than anything. I think that as we look at this document though, it looks really, really overwhelming. And so just a few things that I'm going to point out to you. First, it will be important that you take this one day at a time. You don't have to sit down and do a week's worth of work all at once. That would be crazy. So again, take it one day at a time. Some other features that I'll point out to you is any text that's underlined and in blue will be an embedded link that you can click on. So for instance, there's that upcoming changes and announcements document I just pointed out, and it will bring you to that document, and so it's just an easier way to find everything that you need. Also, I've included some text in red, like you see here. Anything that's in red is your due dates. So it might not be a bad idea to write down these due dates in an agenda book or a planner or something. And then I'm going to scroll just a little bit. Anything that you see highlighted in yellow means that I'm still currently working on making that resource for you, but rest assured, I'm going to try to have everything posted and ready for you by Monday at 8 a.m. at the start of every week. So as you can see, I have everything ready for your first week of learning. Another thing that I want to point out to you is some of these items have been listed multiple times. So for instance, I mentioned that I wanted you to begin working on No Red Ink here, but then in a few days, I also make a mention that you need to continue working on that assignment. And so just know that this looks like a lot, but many of it is repeated just to give you friendly reminders. Also, many of these assignments you have multiple days to work on. The only exception to that rule is anytime I'm giving you a test, like for instance in a few weeks I'm going to be giving you a Romeo and Juliet test, you'll only have a few hours to log in to take that test, and I'm doing that only to try to promote academic honesty. So when you know that you have a test coming up, try to be diligent in signing in so that you don't miss the due date for the test. I'm going to take us back to this slideshow here. And the last things I want to talk to you about are just some tips that you can use to be successful as we try to navigate online learning. So the first tip for you is to check your school email often. This situation is constantly updating and we're learning new things all the time. And so check your email for those updates so that you don't miss major information. Also, try to follow the posted lesson plans and try to take those plans day by day. You don't have to do all of the assignments all at once. Try to break it down. Also, as a tip, it might not be a bad idea to consider creating a consistent schedule for yourself. So you might say every day at 10 a.m. you might want to log in to do English work. Then at 11 you might want to do your history work. Consistency can be a really big key in helping yourself manage all of the work that you'll have to do. Next, take breaks. Your mental health is so important during this time. So it's okay to take a step away from your work to do something that you enjoy doing. Next, write down deadlines and due dates in a calendar or an agenda book. That way you'll know exactly what's expected of you so those due dates don't catch you off guard. Next, view all links, resources, and videos provided by your teacher. Chances are they're going to help you understand what's required of you. This is my last slide. Read the directions. Please don't be that student who just opens up a worksheet and then says, oh, I'll just ask my teacher how to do it. Chances are your teacher wrote in the directions what you're supposed to do. So read the directions, and then if you have questions about what's being expected of you, then you can email your teacher. Next, be an advocate for yourself. Tell your teachers exactly what you need from them. We're not going to be able to read your mind, but we still care about what you need. So please, please, please reach out to your teachers to tell exactly what you need. And then lastly, ask questions. It's okay if you don't understand something. It's okay if you just need extra clarification. Even though we're going to online learning, your teachers are still here for you. So please, please, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any additional follow-up questions regarding anything that I've talked to you about in this video, please feel free to give me an email, and then I'll try to answer those questions as quickly as I can.